This is Matt from Pells. Remember the days when you were young and having fun playing with these in the dirt for hours on end? But nowadays, I'm older and I look a little ridiculous on this.
Growing old is inevitable, but growing up is optional. Join us as we do a walk around of the Massey Fergusson GC 1710. Let's start in the operator's area.
Here on the right side of the tractor, we've got the loader joystick. It's integrated into the dashboard. We've got the engine RPM throttle right here. We've got the hydrostatic pedal. The outer one is reverse, the inner one is forward. As we look here, we've got our four-wheel drive lever to select it in and out. We've got our three-point lever, which runs the rear 3 points up and down, or will run the mid-mount mower deck up and down. We've got the two-range hydrostatic lever. Down is high speed, back is low speed. You'll notice that anything to do with the powertrain is color-coded in orange handles. Anything with hydraulics is gray, and anything with the PTO is yellow. Back here is going to be our diesel fuel fill cap right here. Easy to get at, easy to fill the tractor up at. We move on down here. We've got our control for our three-point levers. It controls how fast the arms go down, controls the hydraulic fluid, how fast it flows out of the arms. Right here we're going to have our lock for our loader joystick, so if you happen to get off this side and bump the joystick, you have less of a tendency for the loader to move. Up here is cruise control. If you push down on your hydrostatic pedal, push this down, and not have the parking brake set, of course, then it will hold. You can tap it to release it. Here's going to be our key switch. There is a detent where you can feel spring pressure to do the glow plug heater. Now on the left side of the operator's area, we've got our brake, and then here's to set our parking brake. You just release and let it go there, and it will hold the pedal. Tap to release. You've got your differential lock right here. You push on that, slightly move forward, and then that'll fall into place. And as long as you're continuing to move forward, the differential lock will stay locked. When you let off your hydrostatic pedal, it'll auto release. As we come up here, you've got your left and right blinkers, your four-ways, and then your headlights. As we move down here, this is going to be a rough setting for the mower deck, the belly mount mower deck, if you go with that option. Here we can see our yellow handles, which of course means PTO controls. These two are going to be to select which PTO your inner lever, which is like an on-off switch, will actually turn on. This is going to be for your mid-mount. When it is up, you're going to turn on your PTO when you flip that lever down. When this one is back, which is for your rear PTO, then this lever will turn the rear PTO on. If they're both in the rear position, it will run both of them. These are independent PTOs, so you can run both together or separately. It doesn't matter. Then, of course, back here for our favorite select beverage, you can put it right in the cup holder there. Here we can see our mid-mount PTO, and right next to it's our hydraulic oil filter, which has a guard on it, protecting it from any brush or anything you might bump into. Then as we come back and look at the engine oil filter, it's right on the side of the block, easy to get at. The hood opens right up so you can get at it quite easy. When we come into the engine compartment here, we can see the battery, pretty easy to get at. We've got our radiator screen, which slides right out. Here, you just slide this over and get it and clean it off real easy. You've got our air filter, which pops right off. You just disconnect this strap, tilt it, and pop a couple clamps so you can get the air filter out and check it and clean it. Got your oil fill right here, your radiator cap, your radiator overfill tank right there. So everything's pretty easy to get at inside of the engine compartment with how compact these are. Now when we move out here to the loader, we can see it's got the greasable pins where the grease fittings are built into the pins. You can't shear them off or anything like that. Protects your fittings. Also see that the pins are locked so that when you're moving the loader up and down, the pins aren't constantly rotating, which will wear them out faster. When you go to take off the loader, you would just use the built-in stands. You'd flip those down and pin them, and use the stands and the bucket edge to take the pressure off your pins here. You have one on each side. Take those out. Then you use your hydraulics to take the red part of the loader out of the gray cradle, and that's how you would get your loader disconnected. Here on the other side of the tractor, to do the final steps to take off the loader, you're going to back up slightly after you've taken your pins out and take pressure off your hydraulic lines, then quick disconnect them, and then you can back away and your load will be disconnected. On the other side of the engine here, you've got your engine oil dipstick, bright yellow, easy to see. And then your final spot would be your fuse bank, which is up here. Now when we move on to the backhoe, we have to swivel the operator's seat. There's a lever in the back, you pull, tilt it forward. I grab the little metal base carefully and give it a spin. There's a little bracket underneath, you pull and make sure it latches in there. Give this seat a tug. There's a little step here, you hop on it, step right into the area. On the 1710, you've got a taller ROPS bar, and it's also foldable, and that's because of the tall swivel seat. When you need to get into the low area, you can just fold this down. When we look at the backhoe controls here, your two outer controls are going to control the backhoe boom and secondary arm and the bucket curl. It's also got boom float in it. The two inner ones are going to be for your down riggers to give you stabilization. The way it's set up right now on this one is going to be for like grass or for an area you don't want to make any indentation into the ground. Or you can flip it over and have it where it's got a little bit of a bite, how it's cut out in the steel there, so you dig into the ground a little bit. On the backhoe bucket, you've got two different sizes. I always go with a 12-inch bucket, and it comes with bolt-on cutting teeth, which are replaceable. And you also will see that all the pins on the loader, or I should say the backhoe boom, are pinned in and they are greasable, and the grease zerks are all inside of the grease pins, which are on this other side here if we come around and take a look at it. You'll see that your fittings are inside, can't be sheared off, just the same as the loader. Thanks for watching our walk around video on the GC1710.